So in our current process, data is effectively trapped inside the document. It's a manual documentation exercise. If we can find ways to release that data, it'll be very effective for the business.
Meet Annie. Annie loves cycling. She loves walking with her dogs in the hills. She loves taking her kids to the beach. Annie has a respiratory condition. Without treatment, it could greatly limit what she can do, even put her in danger. Annie's respiratory challenges don't stop her because every day she has access to a life-changing medicine which controls her condition and lets her live fully.
For everything that we do, we ask ourselves the question, how will this deliver value to the patients that we serve?
The quality of the journey the inhaler, its components and the medicine it delivers take to get to Annie is the key to our ability to deliver that medicine efficiently. This project is trying to improve a part of that journey.
Innovate UK, through the Made Smarter Innovation Fund, are delighted to support strong collaboration projects such as this, solving real-world data challenges that benefit industrial sectors and lead to societal benefits too.
GSK is proud to be the lead partner in this consortium with AstraZeneca, the University of Cambridge, Wyoming and CPI, working to improve how our industry serves patients.
This consortium identified an opportunity to solve a key problem at the front end of the supply chain, where the quality of incoming materials is assessed for their approval to be used in manufacturing.
Modern pharma supply chains are a collaboration of multiple suppliers and partners. Each time material moves between parties, certificates of analysis move with them to verify the product meets required quality.
Current processes to review COA data are effective but are very laborious. Typically, the material is tested by the supplier and the results end up in a paper or scanned PDF version of the certificate of analysis. Then highly qualified scientists at the receiving company are taking printed paper, checking the data, and the documents are physically filed away. This manual process takes a lot of effort and time.
Manually checking data in one document to another document feels like something a computer system should be able to do.
High process costs increase the price companies need to charge. These charges ultimately pass through the supply chain. Digitally enabled processes in a highly competitive environment allow us to reduce those costs and ultimately will benefit the end consumer.
Let's take a moment to clarify the problem we set out to solve. Certificates of analysis are the compliant and accepted means to demonstrate that every movement of inputs, intermediates and finished goods have been controlled and tested to required quality, and they are a key input to the review and approval for the use of input materials. Our ability to share the data in COAs is critical to how well partners in a modern pharma supply chain can collaborate. But the vehicle we use is old. Manual processes remain the norm, and while supplier COAs are now normally assembled from data and systems, the vehicle suppliers use to share is most often a PDF, often scanned and printed out again to review at the receiver end. But PDFs are effectively paper documents, and paper is a prison for data. To get at the data, you have to visit the prison. So we print out the document, we check that the data is correct, that it meets specifications, we transcribe it to systems, we gather evidence to support supplier or process management. The list goes on. All of these needs are important, but the current processes are designed around the problem. Paper is a traffic jam for processes.
We have highly qualified scientists spending a lot of time doing manual checks on sorts of analysis. And by the move towards electronic data, it will allow us to review and approve in an automated way.
In AstraZeneca, we looked in detail at one of our supply chains and we talked to several of our contract manufacturing partners to verify that the problems GSK had identified were common across the industry. And we found that they were.
Slow approval cycle times driven by manual processes can have a knock-on effect throughout the supply chain. In addition to that, managing the associated uncertainty often requires higher safety stock, which might increase costs. Paper can be a traffic jam for processes.
The simple answer is to find a way of sharing our data in structured digital forms instead of in paper or scanned documents. But it's never that easy. We need standard language to describe our data, standard formats such as XML, standard ways to deliver it to each other. In complex supply chains, we often have many relationships as both suppliers and consumers of data, but we do not want a different process for every relationship. And everyone is starting at different levels of technical maturity.
Building tools that support an evolutionary path, where every partner can start where they are, and each can grow at their own speed, is essential to achieve a new, structured digital data paradigm that lets the data out of the document prison.
Firstly, we need to let any suppliers provide their COA data in whatever format they have, and easily translate it to a standard structured format. Secondly, the manufacturer needs an easy way to receive their data and be confident that it is correct.
GSK took on the full end-to-end problem.
With a real product and a real supply chain, we designed and built a tool to accept any data format, translate it to a standard format, and automate the review to approval process, only routing for human review when needed.
The tool GSK built allows suppliers to load their COA data in any format and map it to a defined standard. If the supplier chooses scanned PDFs, these are converted to digital data using OCR/ICR technology.
The move towards review and approval by exception will help us simplify and make our processes better. The work that we're doing with this consortium will make that ambition a reality.
Once the COA is received, the application automates the review to approval process, including checks of the data against GSK specifications and master data, and only routes for human review where needed. Trials have shown a potential for a dramatic reduction in the review to approval cycle time, and a large percentage of COAs successfully following an automated review route. This approach also makes vital quality data available in structured form, opening further benefits such as easier trend analysis, supplier performance evaluation, and optimization of testing approaches. Meanwhile, Wyoming have been working to build an application to address many-to-many relationships.
Wyoming built a front-end software application to translate variable data formats from suppliers into a single XML-based industry standard, which the party receiving the material can then automatically ingest to support their processes.
So Wyoming's approach facilitates many-to-many relationships. It's a way that the industry could adopt and that different players could follow the same approach. GSK can envisage a future where a standard data translation engine, such as that built by Wyoming, could replace the front end that we've built and let us focus on leveraging how the now standard data could actually improve our processes. Having academic and leading-edge innovation thinking input to support design was critical.
The work we did with the University of Cambridge and other Innovate UK initiatives, such as the QP dashboard at our Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre, gave us a perspective that helped us bring innovation thinking to this project.
The University of Cambridge has been able to feed the novel approaches learned through the consortium activity into the academic literature, into conferences, and actually draw in a wider set of professionals involved in digital transformation.
This consortium has built working software prototypes. We have proven the concepts in trials with real suppliers in real supply chains. We have shown that the data can be standardized, digitalized, and made available in a format that lets the data out of the document prison. We have shown that a lower cost, more effective digital process is possible.
This project demonstrates that the review to approval cycle time can be significantly reduced. There is a clear link between reducing the cycle time and the potential for reducing inventory and the associated costs.
Getting data in digital form opens the doors for further optimization of procurement practices, testing practices, and reducing the burden on scientists for reviewing documents when their time could better be spent elsewhere.
What this means is that the processes which manage how materials come together to make Annie's inhaler can flow more smoothly, faster and at a lower cost with no sacrifice of quality. So using digital technologies to improve manual processes is currently an improvement opportunity. But give it 5 to 10 years and it's actually an existential issue. Companies that don't manage to improve manual processes and who leave them as they are simply not going to be able to compete.
Within our Made Smarter Innovation programme, our goal is to inspire digital innovation within UK industry, which then positively impacts people's lives.
This consortium has shown how to get data out of the document prison. It's our contribution to delivering for patients. Annie neither knows nor cares about the tools we use to make these processes better, but she does care that she gets her life-changing medicine. And as a society, we owe it to her to deliver that medicine to her as effectively as possible.
So we owe it to patients to run all of our processes as efficiently and effectively as possible.